Welcome to Political Beatdown. I'm Ben Meiselas, joined by Michael Cohen. Apologies for being 2 minutes late. We were just digesting the news of the superseding indictment filed moments ago against Donald Trump. A new grand jury in Washington, D.C., meeting in secret, return this superseding indictment. This is the government's notice of superseding indictment. I will read it, but it's basically making the indictment conform to the Supreme Court's ruling, where the Supreme Court found absolute presidential immunity. So what special counsel Jack Smith made very clear in the superseding indictment is we ain't dealing with him in his official capacity as president. This was a citizen and this was a candidate, right? And so as a result, the Supreme Court's ruling doesn't touch this at all, and that this should proceed. Also notable, special counsel, you see the charges right there, same 4 charges. And what I think is notable as well, special counsel Jack Smith and the grand jury kept in there that 18 U.S.C. section 1512 C2, obstruction of official proceeding, which is very important because you'll remember the Supreme Court in that other ruling, the Fisher case, said that obstruction of official proceeding has to deal with documentary obstruction. So what special counsel Jack Smith saying is, I'm also not backing down based on the Supreme Court's ruling in Fisher. That charge carries with it a 20-year sentence. And Jack Smith saying, I don't believe that Supreme Court ruling impacts 1512 C2 at all. Of course, Trump was trying to obstruct the certification of an election. That is documented. Involves documents by the very nature of it. Pull up the notice of special counsel. And again, breaking news, folks, superseding indictment just dropped against Donald Trump moments ago in Washington, D.C. Because this is a superseding indictment, it just means it supersedes or basically amends the indictment brought in early August of 2023. The case stays in front of Judge Tanya Chutkan. This is the case involving Trump's attempt to overthrow the results of the 2020 election. This is not the Mar-a-Lago document case. That other case is being appealed in the 11th Circuit. Just pull up the notice, and then I want to get, Michael Cohen, your immediate reaction to this breaking news. Government's notice of superseding indictment. Today, a federal grand jury in the District of Columbia returned a superseding indictment, charging the defendant with the same criminal offenses that were charged in the original indictment. The superseding indictment, which was presented to a new grand jury that had not previously heard evidence in this case, reflects the government's efforts to respect and implement the Supreme Court's holding and remand instructions in Trump v. United States. That's the case before the Supreme Court. The government does not oppose waiver of the defendant's appearance for arraignment on the superseding indictment, meaning Donald Trump doesn't have to show. He could just plead not guilty if that's what he wants to do, which is pretty standard practice. As this court has directed, the government will confer with the defense and make a joint proposal to the extent possible regarding pretrial litigation and the status report due Friday. So everyone remembers special counsel Jack Smith and the DOJ, they requested a 3-week delay or 2-week delay. This is what was going on behind the scenes. This is why a grand jury was meeting in secret. Michael Cohen, I think I laid out, I read the whole opinion already. I think I laid out as best as I could in 3 minutes and 39 seconds what just transpired. Your reaction, sir?
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, this is just a superseding indictment. The goal for this is simply to ensure that justice is served. How many times have we heard Donald Trump figure out a way? How many times have we seen Donald Trump figure out a way how either to delay or to obstruct one of the other remaining 3 indictments? Obviously, you also know what he's trying to do in the September 18th sentencing. That's what he's all about. But I'll tell you, you know what I thought was very kind of Jack Smith is that they are not forcing von Schitzenpants to have to appear for the arraignment. You'll see there it says the government does not oppose waiver of the defendant's appearance for arraignment on the superseding indictment. I thought that was very kind of Jack Smith and government, because what they could have done is they could have made this into a shit show. They could have easily turned around and said, no, if it was you, Ben, if it was me, you're not getting any special treatment here. You're going to appear for the arraignment, whether you like it or not. But they were very good, and they said they do not oppose. Now, if Trump wants to appear, certainly he's permitted, he's entitled to. but he does not have to. And I suspect that he'll just send his lawyers.
I will maybe bet against you there, and let me tell you why.
Dollar bet.
And why I think he wants the attention right now. He's desperate. He wants to say, look, they're going after me again. This is weaponization. And I think Special Counsel Jack Smith put that statement in there that way to preempt it, to make it very clear that we don't want him there. He doesn't need to be there. So when Trump tries to show up and make a circus out of it, it's already saying, look, we don't need him there. Trump wants to go. Believe it or not.
Then don't bet against the Kona, right? Don't bet against me on this one. He'll talk about it. He'll do a press conference, but he's not going to schlep himself to DC, only because, again, it's just another indictment. So this will be now the 5th. It's not good for him. He doesn't see it. He's also, have you noticed he looks like shit lately? He looks really, really tired. But then again, what's the date, Ben, on the indictment, the appearance?
I didn't think it didn't say there. Friday, September 5th, I think, was the status conference. So I don't know if that's going to be the day where he would otherwise have to show up to enter a plea. I didn't see that there. By Friday, the parties have to submit their status conference report for the September 5th status conference. And I think everybody will recall, I believe it was August 17th or 18th was the original date where the status conference report was due. Special Counsel Jack Smith requested extra time, which Trump was okay with. This is what was going on behind the scenes. I think it's notable. It's a new grand jury heard this. So when we talk about the fact that Donald Trump has now been indicted 5 times by 5 separate by fresh new grand juries, and if you consider the Fulton County special grand jury, we're talking about 6. So when you look through all of just the jury verdicts, we all know how difficult it is for Americans to agree on anything, right? But you now have a special grand jury and a grand jury in Fulton County, right? You have the grand jury in Washington, D.C. in this case. You have the grand jury in the Southern District of Florida in the Mar-a-Lago document case. You've got the grand jury in the Manhattan District Attorney criminal case, right? You have a jury in the E. Jean Carroll case 1 and 2. A jury, not just a grand jury, a jury in the Manhattan District case where you testified in that found him guilty. Another jury in the Manhattan criminal case against the Trump organization. Jury. And
guilty.
Or liable in the civil in the civil cases as well. So I mean, to me, that speaks volumes right there. I want to look in the chat right now. I want to make this a little bit interactive right now. Do you all think that Donald Trump's going to try to show up and martyr himself and say,
if you
look,
think that he's going to show up, hit a blue heart, 1, and if you agree with me, which I recommend, hit 2 blue hearts. That's
like a really confused. You should do different color coding system.
No, I wouldn't go with red because that's the color of Republicans.
Okay, so 1 blue heart, you think Ben's right. 2 blue hearts, you think Cohen's right. Let's take a look and let's see. Well, you know what we could do? We're so silly. You and I we could literally run a poll. Like we have no sense of the way technology works. Salty and Jeremy are like we.
Wow, look at all those double blues. Oh, there's a single. No Lola, no Lori. There you go. Let's see some more of those doubles. He's not going to show up. He's going to do it from Mar-a-Lago, for God's sakes, right? He can get the back. He doesn't have to schlep his ass to D.C., all right, which the whole arraignment is only 10, 15 minutes at best. So he'll send one of his lackey lawyers to go do it, and then he'll go in front of the cameras at Mar-a-Lago, and he'll sit there and he'll be like, quite frankly, they did it to me again. Someone get me a Coke. I got the best words, and my words are not good for me, but bad for everybody. And I'm the victim. Yep, that's right. Tina, I can't believe you're going against me. Shame.
You know, I'm building out. I want to make the disclosure. I'm building out this new studio here. As people know, I got very sentimental on the Brothers show that I'm not in the fireplace anymore. So I'm building out a new studio here to try to update it, upgrade it. And so you may see people occasionally walking in the back And also you may hear more taquito and chaquito, but at the end of the day, we'll work around it. We'll deal with it, and we'll figure it out. I want to show you all of this. Would you rather hear taquito and chaquito barking as we give legal analysis better than any of it? I do have
to say it's 62% in favor of Cohen.
I mean, it's like you're the star of the show, though, man. I mean, I would vote for you. I would vote.
Did you vote for me? Now it's 60-40. Wow, Ben, you're catching up. All right.
All right. So take a look at this, Michael Cohen. Let me show you what Donald Trump was doing earlier today. This is a video that he posted. I want to get your reaction to it. Let's show it to you.
This is your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, with some very exciting news. By popular demand, I'm doing a new series of Trump digital trading cards. You all know what they are. We've had a lot of fun with them. It's called the America First Collection. 50 all-new stunning digital trading cards. It's really something. These cards show me dancing and even me holding some Bitcoins. Here's the best part. I'm doing great things for my Trump digital card collectors. First, there's the real physical Trump cards. Purchase 15 or more of my Trump digital trading cards and we'll mail you a beautiful physical trading card. It's really, I think, quite something. Each physical trading card has an authentic piece of my suit that I wore for the presidential debate, and people are calling it the knockout suit. I don't know about that, but that's what they're calling it. So we'll cut up the knockout suit and you're going to get a piece of it, and we'll be randomly autographing 5 of them, a true collector's item. This is something to give your family, your kids, your grandchildren. Number 2 is to purchase 75 of my Trump digital trading cards, and you will also be invited to join me for a gala dinner at my beautiful country club in Jupiter, Florida. We really have tremendous dinners with my collectors. Have a lot of fun together. We're going to have a good time. I'm keeping my Trump digital trading cards at the same price of $99 each. We've done that right from the beginning. So go to collecttrumpcards.com. It's really easy to buy. You just need an email address and a credit card or crypto. You know, they call me the crypto president. I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of people are saying that. So don't miss out. Go to collecttrumpcards.com. Go right now and collect your piece of American history. Let's have fun together and enjoy my Trump cards. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll be talking about it for a long time.
Michael Cohen. Sorry, I played that at probably 45 seconds longer than I needed to.
Holy shit. I am speechless. Yes, what a douchebag.
Let me just, can I frame it though?
75 of those worthless cards. $99 a digital. You're talking about $7,500. I mean, what? I mean, holy crap! And that one with those biceps and the forearms with those big gigantic hands. I mean, yeah, right. He's not the crypto president. He's the crapto president.
You know, what's so strange to me, you know, kind of being on the inside, all of it, but, you know, setting the editorial tone and direction, you know, of this network with you and other hosts, like, to me, that's a big deal, right? Like, if you had Mitt Romney during the kind of the heat of the major presidential race, post a video like that, or if you had former President Barack Obama, you know, if whoever, McCain, like, to me, you'd be like, okay, this person is seriously ill. Like, they're unhinged. There's this is a major thing, but like no one, it's like, yeah, it's Trump being Trump. You know, it is who he is.
Crapto von Schitzenpants.
Right. This is just who he is. You know, he sexually assaults women. He's a convicted felon. He intentionally mispronounces Vice President Kamala Harris's name and talks about how he thinks he's better looking than her. You know, he's been found liable for fraud. I mean, this is just, you know.
It's my friend JoJo from Jersey. You know, we were together at the DNC convention.
And from all I'm reading about Cohen, it was like people were glad to see Michael Cohen there, especially after, you know, just I think a lot of it too is like how the corporate media treated you versus how the people treat you, right? Like what they were, it's a real important distinction, right? Like I just so remember those moments where they were all like, Cohen's gonna do horrible on the stand. He's gonna completely collapse. And I'm like, why don't you, rather than say that, how about you watch 10 minutes of Political Beatdown or 10 minutes of Mea Culpa? Why don't you, like, we have a track record here of having you speak for long periods of time. So people, you've sat through 9 meetings with them, multiple congressional hearings. I mean, how many times did you testify before Congress?
7. So I 7. Testified 7. Yeah. I mean, and for each one was 9 hours long. You know, I mean, you're talking about 63 hours worth of testimony before Congress. I met with the New York AG half a dozen times, the Manhattan District Attorney 23 times. I mean, come on. Not to mention, as a lawyer, someone who used to do trials, did they really think I was going to disrespect Juan Rashan? Did you really think I was going to disrespect the judicial system? I mean, that we leave for Von Schitzenpants to do. But the notion that, oh, you know, he's gonna be bombastic. He's gonna, what do they think? I was gonna jump over the the bar there and beat up Todd Blanche? I mean, what the hell are they thinking? They, you know, that's the thing about Donald and all of the folks around him. What they do is they make these fantastical comments that have no basis in reality or fact, and then they keep selling it. And then when it doesn't happen, we're supposed to just ignore it. Just ignore everything that I said before. I was being sarcastic. I was being funny because I'm really funny. All right. My name is Krepto Von Schitzenpants, and buy my trading cards.
Not only buy the trading cards.
I'm going to invite you to my very great in Jupiter. He's not even inviting them to Mar-a-Lago. He's inviting them to the inferior one.
I didn't pick that up. You're right. That's a great point. So he's selling those NFT cards today, but all.
I'm selling this.
That's the I in the new office. I got to put that up here. But here's what he's also selling today. Not a joke. This is real. This isn't AI. This really went down. Jeremy, do we have the video or do we just have the image of this? Because I'd want to share the video if we have the video. All right, play the video.
On July 13th, a tragic event shook the nation. An assassination attempt was made on the life of President Donald Trump. This hand-painted bobblehead serves as a reminder of the bravery shown by Trump as he proudly lifted his fist into the air. Show your support for the best president we've ever had. Order your Keep Fighting bobblehead today.
Yeah, I mean, Cohen.
Is it me or does that bobblehead look more like Robert Redford than it looks like Trump?
Here, play it one more time.
On July 13th, a tragic event shook the nation. An assassination attempt was made on the life of President Donald Trump. This hand-painted bobblehead serves as a reminder of the bravery shown by Trump as he proudly lifted his fist into the air. Show your support for the best president we've ever had. Order your Keep Fighting bobblehead today.
Like, here's the thing, Cohen. When the shooting happened, we took it very seriously here, right?
I did.
We weren't the ones who immediately sold Assassination edition high tops, right? Like, Trump's now not just selling the one Assassination edition shoe, he's selling 9 varieties of it. And one of the things that I see that it looks like he's doing is he just kind of makes them in AI. Like, that's his thing. He loves AI, right? He makes them in AI, and then he kind of pre-sells them. Then they arrive like 4 months, 5 months, if they ever arrive at all. But you basically have unlimited product if you make them as AI things, right? Because you could just make as many mock-ups as you want. And then they keep on selling these sneakers. I think he's single-handedly responsible for the remaining inflation that exists, right? As it's all going down, the people buying his little con things are, you know, and these are the people who are complaining about, oh, this and that. You know, the American economy right now, I saw this stat today, is the only major economy that has exceeded projection in the world since 2019. Of every country, we're the only one That's it. Even with the way Trump mishandled COVID, what Biden and Harris have done, exceeding 2019 projections when they didn't build into the projections COVID. That was from a new JP Morgan report that came out earlier today, and Carl Quintanilla reposted it. And so as Trump and Vance try to make it seem like there are issues. We're not living in perfect utopia. There are real issues that need to be addressed. But in terms of what you can expect from a president and vice president handling a situation, just think about it. Where is your 401k today? And where was your toilet paper 4 years ago? Where was your 401k today? Where was your toilet paper 4 years ago? Remember, Cohen, didn't Donald Trump try to create an economic panic? Well, he's been doing it now forever, but wasn't it
I got to be honest with you, Ben, when everybody else was fighting for toilet paper as a result of COVID, I was in Otisville, and we had a pretty large supply of toilet paper there. That was one thing that they weren't going to allow, is the inmates not to be able to wipe their backs. So there were shiploads of toilet paper beyond belief. Government had plenty of TP. It was the rest of the country that didn't have it. But I do want to say that bullshit bobblehead really has me laughing. I want to buy that for you for your birthday.
Do not put that anywhere near me.
I'm gonna send you literally send you a whole box of them to hand out.
That's what we'll do at our holiday party. It'll be a stupid
bullshit bobblehead.
Bullshit Bob. This is the person who is the leader of the Republican Party. And the term I've heard used a lot lately is sane washing, that the corporate media is sane washing him. And they're working so hard to find in a full speech that 0.01% where he says something semi-normal, and that's what they put out. Then they cut away from it when he goes, when he does the speech that he normally does. But I just feel like in this moment, Cohen, I just feel that not only does he look little, as he would say, little, but the corporate media looks little right now too. Like, people are so wise to what the corporate media has done. And if there's one major difference between now and say 2016, the corporate media is pulling out, you see it, Cohen, right? They're pulling out the same 2016 playbook almost like to a T. They want the exact same stuff, push it out, both sides it, talk about Donald Trump can win this on character. There was an actual guest essay in the New York Times this past weekend. Trump should run on character, they said, and that's how he's going to win. But I think the difference right now are the brigaders. The Midas Mighty. That's a major difference.
It's true. And it's the one thing that I say regularly. And I spoke to so many people at the convention about it. You're not getting the facts from mainstream media any longer. They're more concerned about their advertisers and about keeping the eyes glued. You see, people come to the Midas Touch Network. They come to Political Beatdown, Mea Culpa, Legal AF, the Meiselas. They come to it because at the end of the day, you actually learn something. You learn something that's real, not based on innuendo or opinion. It's based upon fact and pure fact. So when you sit there and you're listening to some of the other, pundits that are, I think, it's not supposed to be about whether you think or you don't. It's supposed to be what's real and what's not. And it's true. It's so true. Jamie, he hits it right here. Trump cannot win on character. I mean, talk about the distinction between character. You have one person who is chaotic, who is divisive, who is hateful and spiteful. And then you have another person, Kamala, who is empathetic, who is a uniter, who believes in inclusiveness. I mean, this is true. You have to decide. And this is why I say the only thing that is going to make this election even remotely close is going to be apathy on part of Democrats, where they're going to say, it's impossible. You cannot vote for this ass clown. And nothing makes any sense, from the selling of these trading cards, these digital trading cards, NFTs, to the bobblehead bullshit, bobblehead von Schitzenpants. None of this makes any sense at all. And so if everybody gets out there and we all do our part, you see, that's what this is right now. That's what all of us together watching this show, what we are is a community. We're a community of like-minded individuals that cares about America. We care about the future of this country, our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the future generations to come. And for that reason and that reason alone, this election is the single most important election of our lifetimes. Now, you hear people say that every single election cycle. We have never had on the ballot democracy, the Constitution, rule of law. We have never had that on the ballot. We've had immigration. We've had climate change, gun control. We've had those issues, but we have never, ever in our lives, in the history, the 248-year history of this country, we have never had democracy on the ballot. And that's why I'm saying it is so imperative that not only do you get out there, make sure that you vote, that you're registered to vote, vote.org, make sure everyone in your house, your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends, your postman, it doesn't make a difference. Make sure everyone is registered to vote and everyone gets to the ballot box and everybody does vote, because when that happens, it is going to be such a major league blue wave that we will put Trumpism and fascism to rest once and for all.
Well said, Michael Cohen. Hey, Jeremy, can you pull up those graphics right there one more time? The New York Times opinion pieces. Just want to show everybody. This is what is being pushed out by the New York Times right now. Their opinion piece on Vice President Kamala Harris from August 23rd was "Joy is not a strategy." And they pick a photo of Vice President Kamala Harris where she looks very serious and somber. And the headline is, "Joy is not a strategy." And then 2 days later, the New York Times, in their opinion section, has a guest essay that says, "Trump can win on character." And so the empathy, what you have to just realize is their game, that they want to wear you down. That's what they're doing here. In this image, you can see it very quickly. And it's not just New York Times, it's CNN. It is a lot of this corporate media. They want to wear you down. They want to take away your hope. They want to take away your agency. And it's really, I mean, they have some good reporters still. It's not like all of them, but by and large, the agenda that they are pushing is a narrative that wants to both sides the issues. We've got a lot to discuss. That Trump media stock, it's tanking right now because people are realizing that very soon Trump's going to be able to sell his shares. That's like, I think, September 20th or September 22nd, Trump can sell his shares. It's sometime right around there. And that means that, I think that it's going to go down much more than this. To be clear, it started at 10. So the fact that it's now at 20, its baseline was $10 a share. So we'll just say that. Everybody, make sure you hit subscribe right now. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers here on the Midas Touch YouTube channel. You think we can hit it during this show? We may come close. Also, go to patreon.com/political beatdown. Also, please make sure you subscribe to @The Michael Cohen Show. That's Michael Cohen's YouTube. We need Michael Cohen to hit 1 million subs as well, so we can have everybody in that 1 million sub club. The link to Michael Cohen's YouTube is in the description below as well. Let's take our first and only break of this show. I'm having fun. How about you?
As you know, I'm a video editor, podcaster, and co-founder of the Midas Touch Network. We're all doing a lot. Living a more heart-healthy life fuels everything you do. Introducing 3-in-1 blood pressure support plus CoQ10 from Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the grapeseed extract in Super Beats is clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. New Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced supports healthy CoQ10 level, an important nutrient for heart health. Super Beats Heart Chews are incredibly delicious and so much better than any alternative supplements out there. I take my Super Beats Heart Chews each morning, and it's really kickstarted my morning routine. After taking my Super Beats Heart Chews, I feel like I have more energy and I'm ready to take on the day. CoQ10 generates 95% of the cellular energy your heart needs, but it can decline with age, stress, and statin use. Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced is effective and contains clinically researched ingredients from Super Beats, the #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended beet brand for cardiovascular health support. Find out how you can get a free 30-day supply on bundles of new Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced and save 15% for a limited time only by going to Super Beats Radio, promo code BEAT. That's super, BEETS, radio.com, promo code BEAT, and that promo code is BEAT.
Just accept irritation as a normal part of shaving? Henson Shaving asked that question, and they didn't like the answer. So you know what they did? They decided to do something about it. They brought aerospace precision to the world of shaving. I mean, their razors are manufactured in the same shop that made parts for a Mars rover and the International Space Station. That level of precision, it translates to a gentler shave for your skin. So it's not about gimmicks or moisturizing strips. It's about fundamentally changing how a razor interacts with your skin. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that'll last you a lifetime. So visit hensonshaving.com/beat to pick the razor for you and use code BEAT and you'll get 2 years. Listen, 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. So just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com. That's HENSONSHAVING.com/beat and use code BEAT.
Yeah, we're back.
Code BEAT.
Dogs are excited.
By the way, Henson Shave.
I'll do a Henson shave later today. How about that? Next beatdown, we'll test it out again. But Cohen, I know you love all of those products who sponsor Political Beatdown, and look, they help support this show and makes this pro-democracy content possible. So the discount codes are in the descriptions below. Check it out. Support our sponsors. Donald Trump crashing in the polls. Donald Trump's stock, in my opinion, looks to be, crashing right now down a significant amount. The funny thing is, Cohen, right? Donald Trump wants to take credit for the stock market hitting record highs right now, right? That's his. So if a few weeks ago he was saying, I called it, I predicted it, we're heading into a depression, economic crash, which is like the worst thing anybody in a leadership position can say. Like, who would want?
Or anybody who wants to be in a leadership position.
Exactly.
Right?
Or anyone who's near proximity of power. I mean, could you imagine, as a trial lawyer, right? You're sitting there, you're approaching your trial with your client, right? The other side puts on a good witness, and you're like, oh my God, like I told you, it's all over. Who behaves? It's so erratic and it's so. But Trump intentionally wanted to tank the markets because he thinks tanking the markets is a winning issue because he thinks that will condition people to want authoritarianism. But now Trump's back to, and he had Jason Miller on the weekend doing these shows saying the reason the stock market is now hitting record highs, they say, this is the Trump campaign, is because people are excited about Trump's campaign. Well, then let me ask you.
No, that they're excited that Trump is going to win the election is what he said, that they're anticipating a Trump win, and therefore they're betting on the stock market. Big business is betting on the stock on Trump's win.
So then wouldn't it follow that the stock that has his name on it, Trump media stock, would be booming? If people were anticipating and thought that that was the key to success, why would it look like this? And by the way, if you were to look at the 1 month and 6 month, the 6 month would probably show it down close to 60% or fairly, maybe even more, down 60%. So I want to get this straight. Since Donald, and correct me here, Cohen, since Donald Trump
I don't have
left
to correct
the
you.
White
I can just show it to you. You see the
What
height?
is it? Do the 6 month period. Can you hit 6 months?
Yeah, I sure can. And there you go.
What's the 6 month decline?
The 6 month decline on this at 6 month time period, we were looking at something at the height of $54. And now it is trading at $20.99. So it's down $24.17. It's lost
55%.
Yeah.
55% drop. Now, paradoxically,
I like that word.
That's
a very good word, Ben. Why are you using such big words?
I really like really big words. My words are the best big words. Have you heard about all of the words that I use? I mean, but I'm going to make my paradoxical point in a second. But do we have the clip, Jeremy, where Trump said that yesterday? We say it mockingly, but that was quite literally what Trump said when he was speaking in Detroit yesterday.
I think it was at what, like the 149th regiment or something like that.
No, that was there. Let me show you this one. Let's play it.
These people are just so destructive. So, I always look for good words. Highly sophisticated. I'm highly educated. I like sophisticated words, but there's only one word I get. Stupid. They're stupid people.
Big words.
I'm very sophisticated. Quite frankly, I'd like to ejaculate on that statement.
They're stupid. Say stupid stuff sometimes.
He's such an asshole. By the way, can I just say this also? Talk about being an asshole. We looked at the fucking bobblehead. We looked at the stupid trading cards. Have you seen the Trumpy Trout?
Oh, I've seen Trumpy Trout.
Wow. I mean, I was wondering when I first saw it whether or not he was actually involved in it. It's the weirdest.
It's his name, image, and likeness, and so he's got to have some involvement in that, right? Like,
I don't know
if someone was taking his Trumpy Trout. So the point I was making though is that since Trump left the office, since he stopped disgracing the Oval Office, the stock market is up basically about 50%, right? The Trump stock is down 55%. And so
up, down, it all depends on which way you're looking.
And I just want everybody to think about it. If he ran our country like he ran the Trump media stock, guess where we would be? Where we were in 2020, not having toilet paper, not having food, not having a response to COVID. Donald Trump saying like a miracle, it's all going to go away. And so when the corporate media pushes the both sides narrative, why I get very angry about it is I think you're trying to kill me. And you're trying to kill my friends. And you're trying to kill my family. You're trying to kill my country. I don't view it as, oh, well, we got a job to do. No. What you are doing when you both sides that is, to me, tantamount to aiding and abetting killing people, because this election has ramification on our lives. This is deadly serious stuff. And you and I, when we showcase the Trump bobbleheads and Trumpy Trout and all of these things, we do it with a smile on our face. We make it fun and interesting. But the broader point that we're trying to make here is that Trumpy Trout, pull up Trumpy Trout. Is this who you want to be making life or death decisions for your family? And I'm being serious here. Is this who you want to be making decisions over reproductive rights? Is this who you want to be making decisions over IVF? Is this who you want to be making decisions about veterans? Is this who you want to be making decisions about Social Security? Is this who you want to be making decisions about infrastructure? Is this who you want to be making decisions about healthcare? Is this who you want to be making decisions that will impact the economy? Is this who you want to be making those decisions? And the answer has to be absolutely not. What the hell are we even talking about here? Trumpy freaking Trout?
I mean, this is unprecedented nonsense. That's all that it is. This is merely Donald Trump grifting off of a group of dummies, these MAGA morons, these idiots with 3 teeth and 4 brain cells that are willing to give their money to this ass clown solely so that they can have a trading card. Yeah. Pass it down generation to generation. It's, quite frankly, the most important card that you can own. Fuck your American Express, your Master, your Visa card, your Bank of America debit card. It doesn't matter, because with the Trumpy Trump card, you can actually get nothing for it. And quite frankly, there's nothing better than nothing. Right? I mean, I know it sounds funny, but it's not. There's nothing funny about any of this grift. Why don't you talk about the issues that matter to people? Why don't we talk about trying to leave not a stupid card that has a piece of your suit, which, by the way, I assure you, if you check out the material, it's not going to be the material that he uses for his suit. Believe it or not, he actually spends a lot of money on his suits. They're all Brioni. In fact, I have all the measurements. I have all of the measurements on the suit. It's a whole long story. I had to get them when we were making the wax figurine for Madame Tussauds. They needed the exact measurements for the suit. So I actually still have them. But what's unbelievable is, instead of trying to leave to your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and future generations a Trump worthless card, how about if we leave them a world where you can breathe and the water is clean, right? Instead of trying to dismantle the EPA. How about if we leave them a world where you can actually go outside without having to worry about every semi-automatic weapon becomes a fully automatic due to the bump stocks? How about if we leave them a world where you can go to school and not have to worry about coming home safe? How about leaving them a world where the guy across the street from you, regardless of party affiliation, respects you enough not to throw a glass bottle at you, right? Where the hatred, the divisiveness is so enormous that all you want to do is it's become tribal, shirts versus skins, win at all costs. How about if we leave them a world of love and peace and empathy and care?
It is, Michael Cohen, just so utterly, just shocking that this thing is even close. The good news is that Vice President Kamala Harris, though, is pulling ahead in mostly all of the polls other than Rasmussen. I think we have a graphic of kind of all of them right there. You see Rasmussen as the outlier. I looked at a poll in Florida today, the PPP poll, public policy polling, and there she's only down like 4 or 5 points in Florida, which I think is significant as well. And this is the front page of Drudge. Are MAGA rallies backfiring? Cable news covering up the crazy. This time Vice President Kamala Harris, is the one driving the ratings. Drudge has just been spot on, frankly, with its headlines. I wish the corporate media headlines looked more like that as well. And then, of course, today, Vice President Kamala Harris also, I guess, officially outmaneuvered Donald Trump on the debates, right? Donald Trump said he wasn't going to debate. He's going to debate. He's not going to debate. And now he says he is going to debate. He'll agree to the same rules that were on CNN but that he'll show up at September 10th. And then, it's just the whole statement here, though, is just so whiny. Just like, again, like as you and I said, like who even behaves this way?
Who behaves like that with the caps, the small, the big cap? I mean, and he goes on and on. ABC, fake news. He has to sit there, put that in all caps because he wants you to hear his voice in your head when you're reading that.
True.
I mean,
So
if you can do that, just blow up like a part of it. If you can do that, Jeremy, I kind of want you to understand him. Can we blow that up a little bit?
But blowing it up a little bit is beyond our technical capabilities.
I apologize. I mean, you start seeing this, and again, he's angry at ABC, so he calls them fake news. And just the next time that you're looking, right? God bless America, all in caps, because Donald Trump is pro-America. And no, Donald Trump is pro-Donald Trump. Donald Trump cares for only Donald Trump. He's not running like Kamala Harris. The contrast between these two are so stark that it's hard to even imagine that there is even, forget about one poll. There shouldn't even be a poll that has them neck and neck. This should be a runaway already. I mean, this should be one where Republicans are saying, even at this late date with only, what do we have, something like 64 days left before the election, that Donald has to get out so that Republicans even have a chance. The fact that people are even talking about how this crazy man, this guy who is just lies to the American people every single time he opens his mouth, that he's a fearmonger, that he shits on America, he shits on our veterans, he, live or deceased, that I mean, the fact that he's even still in the race, I'm so angered about it. I'm so furious about the fact that they do this again and again and again. How is it that he and JD Vance, how is it possible that these two could even still be in a race when everything they say is so fucking divisive? It's so nasty. It's so demeaning and racist and sexist and misogynistic and xenophobic and homophobic and transphobic and Islamophobic and anti-Semitic. How is it that can there really be enough Americans there that are saying, well, it's okay, I can live with that, but I don't know, interest rates are too high.
Let me show you this too. One of the issues about the debate is whether or not they're going to mute Donald Trump's mic when he's not talking. Vice President Kamala Harris says, don't mute the mic. Just let people hear it. Donald Trump's surrogates want the mic muted. Donald Trump, I think, he doesn't even know where he is some days, but this is Donald Trump's surrogate, Byron Donalds, explaining why the mic should be muted. Here, play this clip.
The reason why Kamala Harris wants to change the rules now to have open microphones is because she wants to interrupt Donald Trump. She wants to be able to create a spectacle out of this debate, which would prevent her from actually being forced to discuss public policy, discuss her positions in detail.
It's so dystopian. They literally just say opposite world, and they can do it with a straight face.
Isn't that what Donald does? Isn't that exactly what he did to Hillary Clinton? Isn't that even what he did during the debate with Joe Biden? The guy has no controls. He cannot stop himself. And this fathead sitting over there talking nonsense, talking smack. Oh, he thinks that Donald is going to give him some sort of a cabinet position. Doesn't he understand? Didn't he read my book, Disloyal, where I turned around and I talked about how he refused to bring one guy on or to make him the winner of The Apprentice because he's black? Does this guy not understand that Donald is using him? He's a moron, Byron.
One of the things I want to show you, though, now is I want to just leave us with this comparison of Governor Walz and JD Vance. So take a look at JD Vance's net favorability rating since July 18th. July 18th, when he was right around when he was announced, negative 3.3%. July 25th, negative 5.3%. And then it decreased, slightly went up, I guess, in August 15th by 0.2. But now it's down to negative 9.7%. He's the most unpopular VP candidate in all of American history right now. Here he is. He goes and gives a speech with his, he's got the eyeliner on, again, today he's in Big Rapids, Michigan, and he tries to do these like a stand-up routine, and he's just like the least funny guy in the world. Let me show you this. Then I want to compare it to Governor Walz. Play this clip.
She is, I will say, the best grandmother that my kids could ask for. They are 7, 4, and 2. Spoils them a little bit too much. Mom, no more Pokemon cards in front of 1,000 people. No more Pokemon cards. The kids have got enough.
All right, now compare that to, here's Governor Walz. So Governor Walz posted this video of himself on Instagram. It's just if you search his Instagram. Before we go into the kind of MAGA conspiracy about it, let's just show it, the video of Governor Walz just at a dog park being normal. I think we got that clip right, Jeremy. Let's play that one if we got it.
Oh, are you jealous? Are you jealous now, mister?
So then MAGA turned that into a conspiracy that he doesn't really have a dog named Scout. And so because he was petting other dogs in the video. So all over right-wing media, this was their big thing yesterday. Yes, this is Tim Walz tweeting about his dog Scout. Only problem is that these are two completely different dogs. And then Charlie Kirk, one of the big Trump influencers, goes, Tim Walz is an all-time legendary liar. And there's this other right-wing influencer account, Derek Guy, that goes, these don't seem like the same dogs. One is big and the other is small. Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, goes, he took his dog to a dog park. He took photos with other dogs at the dog park, which he does all the time. He loves dogs, not just his own. These people are sick. And my dog's on cue as he's talking about the dog park. It's interactive.
It's truly unbelievable. It really is. It's truly unbelievable that they need to try to find something. So, look, let me be very clear about something. Donald Trump has never had a dog. Donald Trump doesn't like dogs. Donald Trump doesn't like animals. He just doesn't. I think Donald Trump is the only president not to have a pet in the White House. Could you do me a favor, Ben? Can you have somebody check on that? I think that Donald is the only president ever who has not had a dog in the White House. Donald just doesn't like animals. And that's okay. That's okay. It's weird, right? Okay, maybe you don't want one in your apartment or whatever it might be. I get it. But to attack Tim Walz for going to a dog park with his dog and loving animals, and so he wants to say plays with all the dogs in the dog park. I mean, isn't that what you do? I don't understand what guys like Charlie Kirk are all about anymore. I don't understand any of them. None of it makes any sense. And for us to sit there and to try to make or to rationalize what they're saying, it's impossible because, Ben, neither you or I understand stupid. My grandfather and my grandma used to always say, you can't debate stupid. You can't understand stupid. And that's just what they are. They're just plain stupid.
Cohen, you know what time of day it is?
Yeah,
the
it's definitely the
finger salute.
The two-finger salute. Ben, this is a very tough one because there's so many stupid things that have taken place. But I got to be honest with you. And I hate to give it to him again because it almost diminishes the importance of the two-finger salute. But it's got to go to Von Schitzenpants. It has to go to Donald Von Schitzenpants for the stupidity that just keeps coming out of his mouth again and again and again. And the thing that bothered me the most, really, it truly upset me like crazy, was Donald at Arlington Cemetery the other day laying the wreath for the fallen soldiers. It is so disingenuous. It upsets me so much because there are veterans that are supporting this guy. And so the fact that he sat there trying to look all presidential and shit, walking up there, laying the hand on the, he don't give a flying fuck about anybody. least of all, these soldiers, the losers and suckers, as he called them, that lost their lives during the extrication in Afghanistan. The fact that he could even be there when his heart is not in it. He doesn't give a shit about veterans, and he certainly doesn't care about these fallen soldiers. To that, Donald, I say, fuck you.
Here's the little guy who was barking during the show. His name is
that's a cutie.
That's Chiquito right there. Say hi to Chiquito. That's Chiquito. He was the one who was barking. You're going to hear a little more of Chiquito over the next month or two, but we'll just deal with it.
Look, you could bring in the props in order to get you up. You're still losing in the poll, 47-53.
I'm catching up. There's still hope. It's Florida, baby. We can win. Thank
Exactly.
you.
And by the way, when Ben loses, he's gonna litigate like in the Supreme Court in Arizona.
I'm going to bring 70 separate lawsuits in all federal courts.
Exactly.
There will be adjudicated by Chiquito and Taquito, who will still find in favor of you. Michael Cohen, thank you so much. Everybody remember patreon.com/political beatdown. We don't have outside investors on the show, on this network. So one of the ways you can help is patreon.com/political beatdown. Cohen and I, we're ready to do our next Zoom meeting. So we'll announce when we're going to do that.
I think we should do it on Thursday. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Thursday's good. Thursday's good. Let's do it then. We'll give you
join us on Patreon. We have a lot of fun too.
Yeah, well that'll be a great fun. We'll do that. Maybe we'll figure out a good time. Also, make sure you subscribe to @The Michael Cohen Show
I want all
YouTube.
of you there now.
It's free to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed there. Mea culpa. Make sure you're subscribed to Michael Cohen.
So really quick regarding my mea culpa, if you listen to the one that's out now, it's actually a very unique and different one than I've ever done before. This one is my speech at the DNC convention. So if you want to hear, it is hysterical. It's something that you will understand, and you will, when I talk about it more on our next show on Thursday, you'll understand it better.
I can't wait.
I know
what it is. It's really, really, really good. Store.MeidasTouch.com. Get your pro-democracy gear, 100% union made, 100% made in the U.S. Take a look at some of this great gear. And, of course, we have the Mea Culpa shirt, the Mar-a-Lardo Correctional Facility exhibit that was used during Donald Trump's criminal trial. Cohen was cross-examined about this shirt. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Also, there's a new video that just dropped on the YouTube feed where I break down everything that happened in the superseding indictment. So I do about a 10-minute review of the superseding indictment, which I did immediately before we went live here. So you can check that out on the feed right now. Cohen, always a pleasure. I'm going to take these little guys out for a walk. Chiquito says he loves you. Beat down, Brigaders.
Thank you, Brigaders. And thank you.
Shout out to the Midas Mighty. Have a good one.